the sleep from my eyes, 'cause I won't be depressed today, 'cause everything's gonna go my way. I know I don't walk alone, 'cause with you, you make me strong. And every time I get a chance, I'm gonna lift my voice and say, well, I got you, well, I got you. With your love, I can hop, hop, hop back. Said I'm well, I got you, well, I got you, well, I got you. With your love, I can hop, hop, hop back. During the day, I can see how my problems come to overtake me, but I won't let it get me down. I won't let my smile become a frown. It won't get the best of me, no, it won't get the best of me, 'cause I know people watching me. They're trying to see your love in me. Well, I got you, well, I got you, well, I got you. With your love, I can hop, hop, hop back. Said I'm well, I got you, well, I got you, well, I got you. With your love, I can hop, hop, hop back. Hop on back, hop on back, hop on back, hop on back, hop on back. With your love, I can hop, hop, hop back. Hop on back, hop on back, hop on back, hop on back, hop on back. With your love, I can hop, hop, hop back. Oh, there's pain in my body. Oh, someone died this morning. Oh, my money's looking funny, but I'ma hop, hop on back. Oh, they left me feeling lonely. Oh, found out they were phony. Oh, it's gonna be alright, 'cause I will hop, hop, hop back. Yeah, said I'm glad. I'm glad I got you, yeah. With your love, I can hop, hop, oh, I can hop on back. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. With your love, I can hop, hop, hop back. Well, I got you, well, I got you. With your love, I can hop, hop, hey. Said I'm well, I got you. I can take it, I can make it. Have a love, I'm glad I got you, yeah. Oh, with your love, I can hop, hop, hop back. I'm gonna hop on, I'm gonna hop on, yeah. With your love, hop, hop back. Said I'm well, I got you, well, I got you, well, I got you. With your love, I can hop, hop, hop back. Said I'm well, I got you, well, I got you, well, I got you. With your love, I can hop, hop, hop back. In the morning when I rise and I wipe the sleep from my eyes, 'cause I won't be depressed today, 'cause everything's gonna go my way. I know I don't walk alone, 'cause with you, you make me strong. And every time I get a chance, I'm gonna lift my voice and say, well, I got you, well, I got you, well, I got you. With your love, I can hop, hop, hop back. Said I'm well, I got you, well, I got you, well, I got you. With your love, I can hop, hop, hop back. During the day, I can see how my problems come to overtake me, but I won't let it get me down. I won't let my smile become a frown. It won't get the best of me, no, it won't get the best of me, 'cause I know people watching me. They're trying to see your love in me. encouragement, and I know when he did it. Let's rise. Come on, come on, rise. Let's go higher, higher, higher. Rise with me, rise with me,
One.
All right, that's what we need. Positivity. Good morning, and welcome to Rise with Lisette. We have a great show for you today. I'm very, very excited, very, very excited because I have the one and the only Clarence Carnegie, which is my husband here. So me and Keone, we're gonna have some fun, which is my producer. And thanks to the cast of Keone Productions today, all right? So we're gonna be talking about fatherhood or fathers matter, because that's very important that we remember that fathers matter and that the importance of fatherhood in a family. That's what's very important today. That we needed to have a conversation about that today. All right. And so I just want to know how's your weekend been? Have you had a good weekend? I mean,
Yes, well, were you asking me specifically or
I'm,
the
I'm
audience?
asking everybody. Have you had a good weekend?
Well, I had a good weekend. Saturday was my birthday, so I had a little party.
Did you? Happy birthday!
The party was so
Happy
good, I
birthday.
slept the entire Sunday.
Oh my goodness. Well,
Uh,
happy birthday. That's
Wow.
awesome. You know
yeah.
what? We celebrate our wedding anniversary this weekend as well. You
So
know.
you just gonna one up me? That's how we starting the show? You gonna one up me? I say birthday, and you gonna throw in wedding anniversary? Okay, let's say it's your show. Do your
No,
thing.
no, no. This is our 20th wedding anniversary, so
Uh huh.
well, thank God, But that's great, Keone. So I hope you out there have had a great weekend. I really do. It's good to be here and to be alive. And to be well. I also had a car wreck. Okay, I had an accident about a week ago. So I'm here, and hey, I'm here and I'm making it. And I'm so excited about the show today. All right. So you know what? Hey, Gail. Good evening. Good morning. Hey, yeah. Okay. So you're watching Gail out there. Thank you for tuning in, everybody out there. Look, do me a favor. If you're watching the show, make sure you go and ask a friend to watch the show with you. All right. They may be at work, but maybe they might be on lunch break. So give them a little hint and tell them send them the link and tell them to watch the show. Also, don't forget to subscribe to Kiana Productions so you can get all the updates. And subscribe to Lisette Carnegie on my YouTube page as well. All right. Also, the song that you was listening to is "Glad I Got You." You can find it on Spotify, Amazon, iTunes, and most of the digital sites. Just search "Glad I Got You" by Lisette. All right. So we're gonna get right into our show. You know what? I know that I had a great dad. My dad was pretty awesome. Not only did he take care of his biological child, he also he took care of my sisters and brothers that was not his biological children. So he was a great dad. And believe it or not, my mom and dad they were not married. But he still took care of me, and he
Yeah.
still fathered some of my children, some other
And I
children.
think we talked about that last show. I think there's be a lot, when we talk about um, parents that aren't together anymore, I noticed the good ones that are separated and the fathers are in the child's life. They had an amicable separation. And we talked about that last show is every time everybody don't need to stay together. I know it's the dream to stay together, but everybody don't need to stay together. And those ones who know that and separate co-parent very well. Those ones who don't, it always ends up toxic. And then either the father, now we have both instances. The father could be a deadbeat, but then we also have the father driven away and be made to be a deadbeat. I take my case, and I'm speaking from experience. My dad and mom separated at 12 when I was 12 years old in about 1992, but they
Mhm.
slept in separate rooms for like since I was, I think, 7 or something. And it's a very toxic relationship, not on my dad's part, but on my mom's part. But I didn't know that as a kid because That's another thing. Never lie to your kids because when they grow up and get in their relationships, things start to
Mhm.
make sense, right?
Right.
So my dad was driven away at 12. And I didn't reconnect with my dad to 25 and then found out he's one of the most amazing people in the world. And I would never would have known that. But my biggest point of saying that is even when you don't have a father, remember there's always father figures. So the
Yeah.
thing I didn't have absent was a father figure because I had my grandfather who was a great father figure and the coaches because I played sports. So single moms out there, get your kids in sports. There's a lot of good father figures out there coaching and without my wrestling coaches and this, funny, I'm African American, this one Caucasian cop that I knew, Ray Har, was a good father figure for me. And then plus my grandfather. So I had a lot of good fatherly influences. And we don't think about that. Remember how we used to say it takes a village?
Yes,
A lot of times that doesn't work anymore because everybody's self-consumed with what they got going on. But I had a lot of good father figures. So you may not have a father, but find a father figure.
that's true. That's absolutely true because I remember when, even as a single mom, um, at the time, his father, we was not together. However, he was into basketball, so he would go to basketball practice and stuff at the Salvation Army. So he had coaches and stuff that he looked up to. Plus, his grandfather, was a father figure to him as well. So I absolutely agree. The father figure is important. It's very, very important. What about you, Clarence
Well,
Carnegie?
no, you ain't announced him. He ain't on the screen yet.
I'm going to introduce to you Clarence Carnegie, my husband.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Now
Good
listen,
morning.
Clarence is a
Good
father
morning. It's
figure and a father
glad to be
himself.
here.
He's a father. He's a father figure. He's your husband. But I swear, if you call him daddy on this show, I'm turning it off.
Hey, Daddy.
Show's over.
Woo! No, no, no. But
Uh, and
but I know that we have three children, and we have one child. We have no children by marriage, so I have a stepchild, a son. With you have your son, and I have a daughter and a son. So, but together they're our children. So that's what we just call them, our
yes,
children. So we don't call them steps. So I just mentioned that to make sure people understand that we have three children, and so and even though you was not with your mother's, I mean your son's mother, how did you deal with um, you know, being his father and not in the relationship with his mother that way? How'd you deal with that?
well, first, let me just say good morning. Good morning to everybody. Happy belated birthday, Keone. Happy
Thank you, sir.
anniversary once again to my beautiful wife. You're welcome.
You could have
Uh,
said mine first. You could have said that one first and then ended with happy birthday, but that's okay. Keep it rolling.
that's all right. First of all, being a dad is not the easiest job in the world, but if you love it, then it's not a hard job either. It takes work. So when you come into a relationship as a step parent, one of the keys is to remember, don't forget about your biological child. Okay, that's very important. Don't put your stepchildren ahead of your biological child. Treat
Hmm.
them all the same as their personalities require. Treat them all the same. Show them all the same love and respect. When they need you, be there for them. Sometimes people get remarried, and forget about their biological children.
That's
So
true.
they grow up resenting them and resenting the other children. But it's not the other children's fault.
Why do you think, Clarence? Why do you think perhaps a man or father would want to esteem the children by marriage more of a priority than his own? Why do you think that?
Well,
That's not an easy one to answer because people have different mindsets. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you can get in a relationship and get so dedicated to that relationship, and you're around those children all the time. You know what I'm saying? And oftentimes those parents maybe they see there is on the birthdays, Christmas, something of that nature.
Yeah.
And
Ooh,
it,
it's important what
go ahead.
Clarence just said because there's an important piece missing. It's how is the other, remember, there's two parties in that biological,
That's
right?
right.
So is like when you talked about in the beginning, is it an amicable separation to where you have free range to see your kids when you want? Or are you dealing with someone who's keeping your kids from you, making it hard for you to see your kids? And so it ends up not in your hands on you spending way more time with the kids that live in your home. I know one of the hardest things that most fathers that I know that are stepfathers talk about is when it comes to discipline. And I know it's different depending on what the age the kid is when the step kid is, whether it's a 3-year-old versus a 13-year-old versus a 17-year-old.
Right.
That's a hard thing to do because, you may want to discipline them because you're the father of the home, but they also have a dad and he may not like the way you're disciplining their child. So how did you navigate uh, when it came? And when I say discipline, I don't mean spankings. I just mean discipline. Period. How did you navigate how to discipline your stepchildren?
That's a
Wow,
good question.
that's tough. I would give a piece of advice when you get ready to talk to them. If there's a situation, don't wait until you're angry.
Mm,
I remember once there was a situation with her oldest son, and I got angry, and I approached him,
Hmm.
mhm.
and it was sort of toxic for just a little while. But once we calmed down and we talked and understood each other and so forth, we have a great relationship. But you shouldn't let it build up. You
Mhm.
get upset. It's like spanking a child when you're mad,
Yeah.
and it can easily become abuse. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So the best time to chastise someone is when you're calm and have time to think about it,
That's true.
and you know what I'm saying, and even look at their perspective to some degree as best you can,
Mhm.
and at the same time realize first of all that is not your biological child, and if it was, would you treat them the same? So if you're yelling and cursing at that child, would you do that to your child? And if you
That's
would,
a
then
good
you just
point.
totally wrong.
Right. The
And if you want,
important thing you just said, don't do it when you're angry, because that's when you can get that. Wait a minute, you're not my father. And you know what? Here's a perfect example. Lisette, we talked
right,
about this a couple shows ago. Remember when you were talking about Cinderella?
Yes.
And I said, well, there's a
mhm,
very big part of Cinderella that nobody pays attention to in the beginning of that animation. Whereas the father would be spending time with Cinderella in the courtyard, and the stepsisters are just in the house in the window watching her get spoiled.
about
Nobody
that.
talks about that building that resentment, and it kind of parallels what we're talking about today.
This is good because it even reminds me about Joseph. Even though that was not necessarily his stepson in the Bible, Joseph's father, it's like he was more had favoritism towards Joseph seemingly than the rest of the sons and stuff. So a lot of stuff of enmity between the children grew because of that. But even as a wife, if you marry and you know that you got some children and you bring in a father for the children in the home, you have to understand that you know sometimes you may have to discipline the child for
Hmm.
the mere reason
Go
that
ahead.
if the husband do it, they're gonna be mad with them. Some things you can do. You can discipline the child. Once when you discipline them, they're not going to be mad with you. They're going to be mad with the husband or the father coming into the scene, the
Well,
putative father, so to say.
you should also do it. You should also do it together.
Together,
Being
absolutely.
20 years in the army, I can tell you this, and this is not even couples that are separated. What we would notice is, because we get deployed a lot, you get
Hmm.
missing a lot. And when you have a young kid, let's say you have a 5-year old kid, the father deploys for 18 months. That child is no longer 5, it's 6.5. It just spent a year and a half only being disciplined by the mom. So when
Right.
the dad comes back, we always say, hey guys, integrate together. Dad, don't just go off on something or discipline. Have mom there. Show them mutual support. Same thing goes when it's reversed and the mom would be gone. And then the mom would come home and try to discipline. And then the kid would go running to dad. And it's like, no, you guys have to stick together and reintroduce that. Hey, we're together. This is your stepfather, but we are both the authorities in this house. So kind of leaving them out on a wing on their own is like setting them up for failure.
I absolutely agree because and then you have to also establish in the child, this is the head of this household, and whatever he says, that's what goes. So you're gonna give him respect, at the same time, so it's like a you gotta he's gotta stand behind you. If you decide to be the disciplinary, he's gotta stand beside you, like, stand beside you or behind you or with you, saying like whatever your mama say, you're gonna do what your mom say. I'm your stepfather, but I'm not gonna allow you to run over her. And at the same time, if he said something, the stepfather, you gotta say, well, he's the head of this house now. So whatever he says, you need to be respectful of that.
Mm.
So yes,
And the
By
most
the same,
important part of what you just said is what Clarence says, and do none of it out of anger.
right.
absolutely none of it.
And by the same token, the mom also has to be the like a monitor, if you will. That's why you
Mhm.
say go in as a couple, not just individually.
Yeah.
You have to monitor and look at it both ways. He may
Absolutely.
not always be right.
Mm-hmm. Because you
But
are the biological mom, you got to protect your child
you
too.
got to
Got to
protect your
protect the
child.
child.
Some
And
men come
that's
into
some,
relationships and they have an abusive personality,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to monitor that. You have to protect your child.
that's something that my husband always said to me. He said, now, I'm the stepfather, and I know how sometimes things can get construed rather. He said, now, you shouldn't be leaving her here, your daughter here with me all the time, because things could get misconstrued. You need to monitor her, monitor me. And I like that. I appreciated that because that made me say, yeah,
Yeah, well, because that you don't think about that. You know your husband, and you know he won't do anything wrong. But you don't. I
right.
remember my ex-wife. Uh, she was we were looking after her niece, and her niece had a play date. Another young girl was over there, like 12 years old or whatever, and my wife was cooking, and she said, hey, can you give her a ride home? And I was like, absolutely not. And she's like, what do you mean? I said, I'm not putting a 12-year-old girl in my car that I don't know and dropping her off at a parent's that I've never met.
That's
We're not
not
doing
good.
Like,
that.
but
No,
see, in her mind, she's just thinking me.
right.
I'm Coyote. I'm not going to do anything wrong. That's not the point. The
That's
point
right.
is perception is reality,
That's
and
That's
I
a
don't
true.
want
fact.
no parts of that. Clarence,
Yes.
what do you love the most about being a father? And the reason why I say father, because dad and a father are two different things.
That's true.
I like being there to encourage them,
Mhm.
to lift them up. I like being an example to them to some degree, showing them what they can be, what they can accomplish. You know, compliment them, tell them how smart they are, how proud of them I am.
Mhm.
It's easy to tell a child they're not doing good and they're doing
Right.
bad and this is wrong and that's wrong. But how often do we compliment them? How often do we, reestablish, reaffirm in them what they can be, how good they are? Our children they're talented and they're smart, and I love telling them that, even though they already know, but I enjoy telling them anyhow, and so
Mhm.
does my wife. I get pleasure out of watching them do well. I mean, every parent should get pleasure out of watching the children do well.
Yeah.
How do you figure that you're a good parent? At some point, your children are older and you're talking, and they start telling you what you did when they were kids coming up, how you treated them and everything. Also, you see the success,
Hmm.
and you can see the part that you played in that. My son told me one time, he said, "Dad, when I grow up, I want to be like you." I was like,
That's the
"Wow,
best compliment you can get. And then you
yeah,
always did you do the father? Did you do the cliche father response? That's great, son, but I want you to be better.
I did." and it came natural. I did, and it came natural.
It's
I
like y'all
really
all
did.
read that father response book. I want to
Yes,
ask. We're not going to get too bogged down because this is why my question is coming. Fathers, right?
Hmm.
And this is not to put down moms or anything else. It annoys me that when Mother's Day is coming up, you hear about it for a whole month. There's all these things and festival, just everything. And then it's like Father's Day is coming up. Here's a couple sales at some stores. Congratulations, fathers, and let's move on.
right.
Why have we gotten it like that? I feel like the father is underappreciated, and we don't even recognize all the single fathers out there.
That's
There's a
right.
lot of single fathers out there. I know a single father that has 6 kids. He has a set of twins. He has triplets and a son,
Wow.
doing it all by himself because the mom decided she wanted to go party at 20,
Wow.
and has been gone for 10 years. But why do you think we've gotten it to where Father's Day is just kind of it's almost gotten to a point where it's another day?
I think it's because we don't know how important fathers are, and that a lot of the things that's gone wrong has some kind of uh, evidence behind it that it's because fathers is not in their positions. And sometimes we think, well, that's just a father. But fathers, they are very important. Fathers, if uh, when you have a father in a home, children are more likely to, to not be poor. I mean, when there's a father in the home, children wouldn't get involved. They're not more likely to get involved in alcohol abuse or drug abuse, drop out of school, suffer mental or emotional problems. Boys are less likely, I'm sorry, less likely to get into crimes, and girls are less likely to become pregnant, pregnant teens, that is. The mortality rate of children without fathers have a tendency to they die as children, and the lifespan seems to get a little bit
Shorter.
slimmer, you know, or shorter. Their lifespan is a little shorter when they do not have fathers in the home. So I,
And
that's how important a father is.
I've seen those kind of statistics too. They have the statistics where you take away the mom. So I think at the end of the day, two-parent homes is where we're trying to go,
Right.
whether it's a father and a mom. But we've seen on both sides what happens when there's no mom present, and we've seen what happens when there's no father present. But again,
Mhm.
let's say you don't have a father, whether, people have fathers that have passed when they were young. But like we said at the beginning of the show, the father figure, who's the motherly figure in your life? I know single fathers who have great kids because their mom, the dad's mom, is in the life, and grandma's like super grandma, and vice versa. You have, like with me, my grandfather took the place of the father figure for my father. So it's like if you have those nurturing and disciplinary figures who do it properly in your life, you can still be successful.
Yes.
But I want to get Clarence' answer on why you think Father's Day isn't as glorious.
hmm.
'Cause it's a lot
Hmm.
of people out here with fathers, that are good.
Ah. Hmm. Well, we put women on such a pedestal, and they deserve to
Mhm,
be there. And children growing up in the homes, they hear dad talking about how awesome mom is,
mhm.
but do they hear mom talking about how awesome dad is very often?
Hmm.
I'm not sure about that.
Is it
Interesting.
because it's a feat when we celebrate it when women do it, and when you do it, it's expected? So it's like, what do you want, a cookie for being a good dad?
No, I think so. It's like you take somebody that succeed, a great basketball player, whatever. He wins the championship. He's like, "Oh, mom, I love you. Thank you, mom." It's rare you hear somebody say, "Thank you, dad."
Even if
You
that
would think
dad
they're
would work
all
12 hours a day and come home tired and throw a ball with them in the backyard.
exactly. You would think they
Because
all came from
mom goes the extra
single
Wait,
mile.
no, no, listen, that's not this show. We did that on
Yes,
Mother's Day.
yes,
Come on
it
now.
do. Yes, it
homes.
do.
Yeah, so see, you see what she just said? Because mom goes the extra mile as if no dad in the world
No,
goes
dads
the
go the extra mile
extra
And
also.
they
mile.
do. Some
I
days.
just interviewed a dad on the count on Keone Productions, Mike Mikowski, who was a dad who ran a multi-million-dollar business. He had four kids. He was the soccer coach, the baseball coach. He was a big part of the church. I'm like, this man was doing something 20 out of the 24 hours a day. Uh, and, it happens. And we talked about, okay, and I don't want anybody to take this wrong. It's the most annoying thing that my single female friends will tell me.
Hmm.
I'm the mommy and the daddy. I'm like, can you stop saying that? You're not the
Right.
mommy and the daddy. You're the mommy.
You're the
Okay.
mommy.
And don't say it in front of the kids, you're the mommy and the daddy, because that's when they grew up going, well, my mommy was the mommy and the daddy. You're the mom.
Right.
And the feats
You're the
that
mom.
you've done, the extra, you're taking credit away from yourself when you say, I'm the mom and the dad. You're
Well,
the super mom.
I was a makeshift dad.
No,
I did not want to be the
No,
dad.
no, no,
I
but
didn't
you
want
got,
no,
to be the
you got,
dad.
you got to get what I'm saying.
no.
You're downplaying the awesomeness of what you did when you were the single mom by including yourself as the dad,
As a
is
dad
what I'm
also.
saying. You don't even realize you're taking it away from you. You know, you were that great of a mom. When a single
Right.
mom is a mom by herself and doing it all, that's a super mom. We
That's a
don't have
super.
to include the word dad. That's a whole
Right.
different stratosphere, you know? And that's why I said, because if you do that, and this is not everybody. Remember, when I say things, it doesn't mean it's generalization. When you place yourself as both, you'll never find that proper father figure. Doesn't have to be someone you're dating. Doesn't have to be a man in your life, but there's a father figure out there, and you step on their toes when you're trying to be both.
It's like Gail said, I was the mom and the dad to both my
Oh, she
children.
did. Oh, I didn't even see that. I hope she don't think I was talking about her.
Right. And so the thing about that to Gail is you were the mom and you were an awesome mom to your children. You weren't the dad. The dad wasn't there, but you did a great job in spite of dad not being there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I guess she's saying that she had to step like for instance, they see the men, dads they see the men as being like uh providing security for the family and this, that, and other. So it's like you have had to step up. Okay, so there's not a man here or a father here to
Mhm.
provide security for our family. So I'm gonna have to be even stronger. And I can see what
Oh, we totally get it. And
I
what
can
you're
Yes.
saying
Don't
and
have
what
to
she
explain
said
it.
is true. What we're
That's
just
right.
saying is don't use
I see
the
what you
verbiage because it doesn't make it any better. And then what it does is it plays into that stereotype, right? How
mean.
they keep trying to tell us that we're all fatherless, which we've learned statistically that that's not true. Almost every black family I know has a two-parent home, but I keep being told there's no fathers
Come on now.
involved. But I keep seeing the opposite. What we're saying is because you look at, like, for instance, go on Facebook today and watch how many people say it's Father Day, but I'm going to thank my mom because my father weren't bleep. And it's just adding to that negative trope of men aren't bleep and they're not out here doing what they're
Right.
supposed to do. So what
Right.
I'm saying is we can celebrate moms and we can celebrate super moms without demeaning fathers as a whole, is what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Well, I have a question.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Why, why are
That was a good
fathers,
question.
why do fathers or why fathers are not with their children? Why are they not consistent
That's an
in their
easy question.
homes?
That's an easy answer. Think about it like this. I'm going to say two things. When a
Hmm.
woman separates from a man and takes the kids because it's a bad relationship, she's seen as strong, right? But when the man does it,
Hmm.
he's a deadbeat. I used to be so angry at my father for not staying with my mother until a father figure of mine said, "Hey, Keone, how old are you?" "I'm 20." "Do you know your mother?" "Yes." "You know her personality?" "Yes." "You sit here and talk about all the things that she does?" "Yes." "So you know her in and out?" "Yes." Now, pretend she's not your mother. How long could you be married to her? And I said, oh, wait a minute. That wouldn't have lasted more than 2 days. He said, then why are you mad at your father for giving 14 years to someone that you wouldn't be married to for 2 days?
That's true.
And I
Wow.
said, that's why
It wasn't bad.
sometimes, and again, we know that there's deadbeats. We're not talking about the deadbeat dads. We've seen men who are trying to be in their child's lives, but we've talked about this on the show. When you separate from your husband because you two don't like each other anymore, or you two don't get along, even if he cheated on you, that's an issue between you and him.
Right.
Don't take it out on the child because you hate or you're mad at the father. He still has a right to be that guy, that kid's father. You're taking it too personal. And so we've seen that happen. The constant bashing of men,
Too often.
bashing a
Yes.
father. I
Yes.
was made to believe that we lost our house because my father did nothing. And this is why you shouldn't lie to your kids, because when
Wow.
they become adults, they figure it out. Come
I
to
agree.
find out,
Right.
my dad was not only paying child support, he was paying extra. But mom was gambling the money away, and that's why we lost the house.
Ain't
But if
that
Wow.
I
something?
would have
Yep.
stayed as a kid, I would have thought we lost the house because my dad was a piece of bleep. Come to
Right.
find out, my dad was not a piece of bleep. So that's just, again, that's not all. So I don't want any women to go, what about these trashy fathers? We're not talking about them today. We know they exist. We
Sure.
are talking about the problem of keeping up this stigma because we do have a lot of good dads out there that aren't allowed to be fathers.
Exactly right.
Well, I tried my best not to um, talk bad about my
Hmm.
son's father.
Hmm.
I tried not to do that. We was divorced, but because I did not. I wanted him to come up with the conclusion himself. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to talk bad about him,
Hmm.
and so he had to figure all that out for himself.
Hmm.
I just didn't want to badmouth his father. I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
just did not. So I absolutely agree. And because really they're going to do that. If that's what they're doing, then it's going to come out. They're going to do it to their own selves.
Kids will always find out when they become adults. It may take some of them a little longer than others, but they will. They'll finally figure it out. I mean, 2 years ago, my sister turned 30, and my mom told her on her 30th birthday that her dad's not her dad. So her dad. Now, me and
Wow.
my other sisters. So for all
Wow,
of my life, I'm 46 now.
wow,
All of my life, I thought my sister was fully my sister, not a half sister. So that means the action. And then my sister went down and met her biological father. They're just alike. They're
mm,
just alike. And he's doing well. And
How about
he
that?
was missing out of her life the entire time because my mom didn't want to tell my dad that that's not his daughter. And my sister called my dad because my little sister gives my dad so much crap. She called him and she said she was just crying, saying, I'm sorry the way I treated you. And he said, it doesn't matter. You're still my daughter. And that made her cry even harder because she's
Right.
like, I've been giving this man so much crap. And then I have to tell him he's not my real father. And then he says he doesn't care.
ain't that
So then
something?
my sister went down and met
That's a
her
fact.
biological father, had a great time, but that's sad that he wasn't allowed to be her father. On the way back home, her car broke down. So when she got back to where she lives, she went to work and she asked my mom, can you pick me up from work? My car broke down. Remember? And my mom responded to her by saying, if you didn't go see your daddy, your car wouldn't have broke down.
Right.
It's not
Oh,
always the
oh,
men. It's
That
not always the men.
I
that's
agree.
cold.
I think it's cold when a woman, I mean, just like I told my son, just because your dad and I are not together does not mean he's a bad father. That is not what that means. He's a bad father. He had issues in other areas, not necessarily fatherhood, so to say. We could
Well,
not,
I've never.
we could not
Well,
let that.
I've never said one bad word about my son's mom to him. Never one bad word.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I don't do that.
No.
This is
It
very
just
true.
didn't work.
This is very true what Gail said. Okay, if the father is not around and when they grow up and become something, they'll come around and say, that's my child. But yeah, that happens. It happens on both
Yeah.
sides. I've seen moms, I just told you about my friend who has 6 kids that he's been taking care of. Now the kids are all in high school, and now she's popping around wanting to go to graduations and all that. And he's like, "Where the hell you been?
Right.
Right.
You
Makes
was out
sense.
in the streets." We've seen that. We've seen any basketball players that didn't
Hmm.
have a father and a mother. They had a mother, but their mother was cracked out, and the father was
Right.
non-existent.
That's
And
right.
then they try to get their mom when they make, they make that money and they try to get their. So we've seen it all ways. And Gail, the answer to that is you tell them to go away. You can support my child by going to the. If your child goes to the NBA, Gail, you say, yeah, you can come watch the games. You buy your own ticket, but you can
Right.
come watch. They
That's
have to if they want to be in that limelight. Now that you've made it, they need to put maximum amount of effort in being there, and there's no determining time on how long that takes. So yeah, you come to every game and pay for your own ticket. Maybe after 5 years, we'll let you in.
right. Well, let me say
Uh,
this.
Gail,
let me
I
say
can't.
this.
Let's say I want you to explain to because I think Gail might be missing what I'm saying. Well, you have
Okay.
some daddies didn't do anything for a child, but when they grow up, make something. Yeah, that's what we're not talking about those dads today. We keep saying we know the trashy dads. We know there's deadbeat dads. But what we're trying to do today is
Hmm.
shine the light on the dads
The
that
good
that are.
dads.
I used to go on Facebook when they would put the things up when they trash dads on Dads Day. I say, look, everybody dad wasn't trash. Could you stop trashing all dads because your
Right.
dad wasn't there? Like spend Mother's Day, go overboard with your mom. You don't have to throw dads down in our face because your dad wasn't there. Like I just said for me, I
Come
found
on.
out my dad wasn't there through no fault of his own,
Right.
Mhm.
you know? So everybody's experience is different.
Well,
And
yes.
we really need to we today the show is about shining the light on the how important dad is in the home. And seemingly there's been a lot of dads that have not been in the home.
Yep.
Perhaps maybe that's why there's like 85% of the youth are in prison, come from fatherless homes, fatherless. There wasn't a father. That's how important dads are. How we need, and we thank God for the dads that are being a dad, that are good dads, that are there in the home and doing his best towards his family and his children. Those are very good dads, and we need to celebrate them. We want to celebrate them today.
Okay. Honesty
Yes.
time. All right, Clarence, we're going to
Okay.
play a game. Now,
Oh.
you have to be completely honest with this game. You can't say, well, no, no, you can't give me stereotypical answers,
All
okay? If
right.
we're going to play this game, you got to be honest. Best Father's Day gift you've ever gotten from a kid, from your kids.
Oh Lord. The best. Wow. I almost said a phone call, but um, hmm, the best gift I ever got from a kid. Wow.
I guess
That's
that's good if you have to think about
it's
it.
it's it's,
and,
it's hard.
and you know you got some good gifts, so just be honest.
Like what?
Like that beautiful watch thing you got.
Ah, that was nice. That
Okay.
really was. You know what? That was nice. Hmm. It's a case that holds about what? Is it 10, 15
Oh, you
watches?
got a watch case, a watch display case.
A
Yes.
very nice
That
one.
was nice.
Because you like what he likes watches, doesn't he?
Yes.
I like watches.
Uh oh.
My son gave me a little car,
Mm-hmm.
and he said, "Dad, one day I want to get you the big car."
That was
Okay, how
beautiful.
long was that? Because how far is he behind? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, and all right, since we're playing honesty time, the worst gift you've ever gotten from your kids.
Wow.
Come on,
Wow.
because I look, we all got that gift one time where we had to smile and say, "Oh my God, thank you so much."
I can't really say I've ever gotten a
Excuse
bad
me, but
gift.
you wait a minute, and you even got you even got to go to a music concert
Oh,
too.
that was awesome. You know what? You know what?
Okay,
I'm
is
glad you
Lisette gonna
mentioned that.
answer all these questions, or are
Well,
you
I'm
gonna
just,
answer them?
and maybe he had to
Well, see,
remember a
she
little
remembers.
bit.
She remembers stuff. But you know
I
what?
got
Now
you.
that was
I'm just
awesome.
giving her time.
That was awesome. It was Kurt Franklin and what were they called?
Uh-huh.
The group
Maverick.
Maverick. They were awesome.
All right, let
That,
me change the question because
okay,
we
that
we
was
gonna
number
get
one.
we gonna get one of these out of you. What's the worst gift you ever got from Lisette where you in your head you were like, oh, she could have kept that?
Don't even
was
try.
that don't try it?
Go ahead. I
Oh
can tell it. I mean, it's fine.
no, was that the body wash?
Oh.
What was wrong with the body wash?
Uh, I mean, I can get that any time of year. I can go to the store and buy that anytime I want it and so forth. That's it's like your wife giving you a pair of socks, isn't it?
I
You
never.
know, it's like your wife giving you a pair of socks. You know what I'm saying? You can just go buy a pair of socks anytime you want to.
But you said you didn't want anything, remember?
Yeah, but
No, see, but that's a trick.
it is. You know that,
Because my wife used to do that. Oh, we don't have to do anything for Valentine's Day. I'm like,
right?
yeah, right. I know you're gonna get me something. So,
Come
but
on
we
now.
talked about that.
We
Remember when
did.
I told you my first anniversary? I got like a wallet. I had two gifts for my wife. I had a diamond necklace and I had an apron. And I said, I'm going to give her a gift based on what she gives me. So she gave me a wallet. So I handed her an apron. She's like, what is this? I said, listen, we're not doing the stereotypical thing where you get all the great gifts and I get brute cologne, a
Come on
tie,
now.
socks, and a wallet. I like gadgets. I like fun
That's right.
stuff. So if you get
That's
me a
right.
wallet and socks, you're getting aprons and ironing boards. Now, if you want to get me a PlayStation 4, then you get a diamond necklace.
Come on
Okay.
now. Come on now.
So all the gifts I got after that first year, the next 6 years were amazing. And all the gifts she got was amazing.
There we go. There we
Now
go.
that's
That's
good
awesome.
talk, Keone, because our first, I think our first Father's Day or birthday or Christmas, I'm not sure. I got him this beautiful watch. He got mad. You paid too much money for it. You shouldn't be spending money like that. I said, okay, okay then. If you
Wait,
say so.
was it the joint money or was it your money, Lisette?
It was the joint money.
Yeah.
It was the joint money.
Hey, look, Claire,
I'm just
listen.
saying.
Look, but Clarence, you got to take that one because how many times do we go deep in the well to get that special lady a special present that we probably spent a little too much money on, right?
That's true.
So we always try to be humble, like no, I don't. But we know we like stuff too, right?
That's right.
So you just got to be honest with yourself and be like, I like good gifts too. Don't get me
Exactly.
crappy gifts. Except
Exactly.
the body wash.
Wow.
It's still in the bottle, huh?
Probably
Yeah.
thrown in the trash somewhere.
Oh
I don't even think he even used it. But he
man.
didn't, he
You
didn't ever
know,
say again, don't get me anything.
one of the proudest things I've been told by friends of mine who have a stepfather that maybe didn't understand how important that the stepfather was because it wasn't their biological father. And my friend told me until the day he went to graduate high school and he walked across the stage, and when he came afterwards to walk up to his family, he said, the proudness that I saw on my stepfather's face that I graduated, because the
Come on.
stepfather had another son who didn't graduate. He had to stay back. And he said, the proudness that I saw in his face made me realize how much he cared about me.
That's beautiful. That is so
That's
beautiful.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Sometimes, but like I said, that's
Can
why
I
you
let me
just
say
have to be patient because they'll figure it out when they start to get older.
right. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I was reading it said 4 out of 5 fathers of minor children live with at least some of their children. Four
Yeah.
out of five fathers of minor children live with at least some of their children.
Yes.
We people highlight those that leave, those that don't it don't work and so forth, and the bad dads. But there are a lot of great dads out there, a lot of great fathers. It's
And just
important.
because they're not in the home doesn't mean they're not existent.
That's exactly right.
We know people who co-parent well.
Exactly. And there are a lot that's actually in the homes.
Mhm.
So we have to recognize that.
Well, that's how stats always work. You
Almost
can
three out of
always
four.
take stats. Mhm.
Almost 3 out of 4 live with all of their minor children.
Yep.
So it's not as It's not as bad as it's made to seem. Even
Well,
though
because
bad is bad.
we also don't look at the time. Like I said, my father and my mom separated when I was 12. I'm 6 years away from 18. There's a
Yeah.
difference. There's a significant difference in a father who leaves before the child is born or at 3 year old versus, I've known some families to where they separated and both kids are 17 and 16 years old. So you may put them in the statistic of the father and mom not living in a home, but 17 out of the 18 years that this person's been a kid, the father was there
There you
or the
go.
mom was there. And now they separated. So we don't look at ages a lot. Sometimes we break it down, but that's the way stats have always been. We can take the stats and use it to whatever point we're trying to make.
Right. But
You
my
know,
father died when I was 8 years old, so he
Mhm.
couldn't be there.
Yeah.
It happens. My grandmother raised us, and she raised us to be hard and tough.
Cause she was hard and tough.
And she was.
She was mean. That's what
She
she
was
was.
mean. She
She
was
was a
mean.
mean
Wait, I
woman.
don't wait. You got so many gifts you don't know. Who did?
Lisette. He loves Lisette. Okay. So she's thankful that she loves that you love me, baby, Gail said, and that she loves me kids. You know.
Lisette, you should do that every
That's awesome.
Father's Day and anniversary just to save money. Go, Clarence, I got your gift. The best gift you can get me again, and it's free.
That's like people that say it's the thought that some people say it's the thought that counts, right?
Yeah,
I tell people
Lisette.
it's okay when your wife's birthday come around, say I thought about you. See how that
Yes,
works out.
see how that works out. Don't do that, Lisette. He gonna
No,
say I'd rather have the
no,
body
not too
wash.
much.
No, he ain't gonna say that.
Yeah.
No, my friend fell for one of those, Clarence. It was I think it was something was coming up. I don't think it was Valentine's Day. And I asked them, "What are you
Mhm.
getting your wife?" She said, She said we've done so much this year. I don't really have to get anything. I said, "Boy, you better go get something. That's a trap."
It
He's like, "No,
is.
my wife's understanding. We talked about it." So guess what he was doing at
Don't do
midnight?
it.
He was in Walmart trying to find a gift because his wife got him a gift.
See, that's how. See,
I
Fall
bet
that's
he
a
for that
trap.
was.
trick.
That is a
I
trap.
bet he was.
But it's
I mean, that's like when Mother's Day. Hey,
Mhm.
it's like when Mother's Day. I didn't get my wife anything for Mother's Day. She got so upset. I'm going like, what in the world? I told her, I said, but you're not my mother. She said, but it doesn't matter. I'm the mother of the children. And
Oh,
so
that's
that never
sad.
happened again. That never happened
it
again.
does matter. It does. It
On
matters.
Mother's Day, on Mother's Day,
It
I'm one of her
matters.
children.
You know what, Clarence? I agree with you because nobody says anything to me on Veterans Day, but they always say something to me on Memorial Day. And I'm like, Memorial Day is the celebration of the dead ones. Why don't I hear from you on
There
Veterans
you
Day?
I
go.
know. You
Come
should.
on now.
You should hear from
Come
someone
on.
on Veterans Day.
Come on now.
You
You need to
are.
get her something. So she gonna want something on Juneteenth because,
Okay.
For
she gonna
sure.
want something on
For sure.
she gonna want a gift on Columbus Day, and you're gonna say why? She said because if Columbus didn't discover America, then the other people when it came, then our ancestors wouldn't have been brought here, and then you would have never met me. She gonna find a
Exactly.
way to tie it in for
Tied
everything.
in. Tied in.
Wow.
I'm
I
just
Wow.
love
saying.
it.
You guys
Wow.
are awesome. You know what? As I was doing some little research, it just amazes me how that fathers are very important, because sometimes some of society wants us to think that men just want to father children, go out and have fun, and leave you with the leave the woman with the child or whatever the children. But fathers are important today. They're very very important, and I think about a lot of the gang violence that we have and the teen pregnancy, and I'm saying perhaps if there was a father in the home. Maybe there was. I don't know, but maybe that would have made the difference. And I'm like you were saying, the mother, she's
It would have
trying
made
to.
it harder. I don't know if it would have made it. It would have made it like, for instance, it's a lot harder for dudes to ask a girl out on a date when there's a father present.
That's
Not,
right.
but we also know there's been homes with two parents in it, and the girl still gets pregnant before
Yes, that's true.
age. So and then again, I think what you're saying, Lisette, is right. But I always want to caveat that stop using that as an excuse because you can still find a father figure.
Yes.
If the father's not in the home, there's nothing you can do about it.
That's
What do
right.
you do for the entire time the kid's growing up? You want to complain about the father not being in the home, or you want to make sure that that kid has a father figure in their
Exactly.
life? Which
And
one do
that's
you
That's
want to
right.
do?
and that's why women, I would say women step up. You know, most of the times women, they say we've got to step up, got to step our game up because we want to make sure that this child goes to college or gets an education. Don't come
Where
up
does
with
it start?
pregnant.
You know where it starts?
Mhm.
Be more selectable about who you let give you a baby.
Uh,
That's
That's
where it
true.
uh,
starts. Be more
that's
selectable
heavy.
about who you let give you a baby as a
I
woman.
say tell
And
those
as a
men
man,
to use a condom. That's what I say.
that's as a woman, and then as a man, be more selective about who you put a baby in. You
Amen.
know,
That's
if
right.
she was crazy before you gave her a baby, did you think that was going to make it better? If he
Come
was
on
a
now.
deadbeat and a rolling stone before you decide, you thought because you had a
I
baby it was
agree.
going to keep him in place?
I
No,
know.
we need to think better. We also need to not be in a rush. Not be in a rush. This is not the days of, hey, hurry up, go to school, graduate, find a man, get married, and start making a family at 20.
I agree.
You know, everybody's not ready to have a baby at 20, especially most guys.
Hmm.
Okay. So
No.
if children should be the first thing you should talk about before you even put a ring on your finger, you know,
That's
what's
right.
the timeline for that? When do you think about what would be the best time? Not just hey, we're married, let's start making babies.
I
No.
agree.
Because when you have
Absolutely.
kids, that changes the dynamic. Some people are madly in love, and this is where it becomes not the kid's fault. Some
Hmm.
people are madly in love and it's a great marriage, and then they have kids, and then it changes everything because they don't realize how the dynamics change when you have kids. No, you can't just do everything anytime you want, when you want, up and leave and do all of that. And
No.
some people aren't prepared for that shock of, wait, I can't do this, and this anymore.
Wow.
And then it happens the opposite for some. Some guys who are a little wild when they have that baby girl, it's like, you know what? Now it makes sense. Let me calm my behind down.
That's right.
You know, so you don't know how someone is going to change when kids are introduced. So let's not have kids the first year of marriage,
That's
please.
right. And you know, also, a man will say no quicker than a woman will, generally speaking.
Yeah.
So she wants to go out with this dude, and dad says, no, we're not doing that. You're too young, or whatever, and so forth. You know,
Mhm.
women seem to be more permissive, generally speaking. What do you think?
Perhaps.
I think it's two things. When you're going through puberty for both, women become promiscuous and guys become horny. Let's just be real about it.
Right.
But it's the first, they've never experienced that before. So that's where you have the parents who come in and help them navigate. I have a very good friend that lives in Denver, Taishay. She's on Pretty Smart. She co-parents very well with her father, and she knows it. She's like, "Look, I'm raising a boy by myself. There are some conversations that his dad needs to have with him that
Hmm.
aren't going to be. I could sit here and pretend I'm the dad and the mom, but that's not going to have the same effect
Right.
as if the father had that conversation with him.
Yes.
So there's certain things she lets him take care of, and she says that's not my lane. I'll let his daddy talk to him about it. And then there's certain
Right.
things where she knows she needs to put her influence and her stamp on. What's better for a woman
Exactly.
to teach a boy how to treat a woman, or a guy who knows how to treat a woman to teach his son how to treat a woman?
It's definitely preferably the guy, but
The guy.
I remember
Yeah.
when
Not
my
saying a
oldest
woman can't
son.
do a great job at it, but I'm just saying if you had your preference,
Hmm.
you're gonna now as a single mom or a single dad, because I don't want to forget single dads, especially with today's topic. You're gonna do what you have to do. That's without being said. It's no one's taking that
Right.
away from single parents. You're gonna do what you have to do, but in preference, like a
Hmm.
girl going through puberty. I would rather
Hmm.
me and my wife are separated. If we had a girl, I'd rather my wife have those conversations with her. Now, if I was a single dad and the mom was non-existent, I'm gonna have to have that talk with her. But it would
That's
be
right.
very much preferable if the mom had that talk with her and not
Exactly.
me.
I will say this. I absolutely agree with all of that. And hi, Venus Network, for tuning in. But I remember when my oldest son, he was going through, he's gotten tuned into girls and stuff, and I think the neighbor said, "Well, he's been sniffing some girls up there in your house." She told me, and so when I went to him, I told him, I said, "Now, you are being a young man, so you have desires, that's expected of you, But I just want you to know that love is beautiful. Love is beautiful, and don't make it ugly. There's a
See,
time
see,
and
that's
there's
the
a place.
difference, Terrence. Clarence, you saw that speech
No,
she
I'm
gave him.
waiting. I'm just
Now look,
saying.
look.
Right.
And
That's the
I didn't
that's
try
wait,
to
wait,
make it
wait,
feel
wait,
ugly or
wait.
nasty or none of that.
That's the mama speech to the son. See, the dad bring him in and go, look, son, these hoes out here. You. That's how the
Come
dad
on.
starts to
They're
speak.
trying to trap you.
And
They're
I
trying to
told
trap
him
you.
that. I told him,
Come
I said,
on
you
now.
got to be careful.
Hold on,
I said, you don't
hold on,
want to get
listen.
someone pregnant. And I said, you have time. You have plenty of time for this. Don't
Don't have
go and do
I
this.
know.
Love
I
is
know he
beautiful.
said. Yeah, love
you.
is beautiful. See, that ain't even in our speech. You doing that? Love is beautiful, and you ain't
Right.
having that speech. You like, look,
No.
son, sit your ass.
Bring the little
It's
hoochie
the
mamas all up in here. Oh man.
yes, it's the same speech. It's just delivered a different way.
Exactly.
Isn't that something?
Yes.
Oh, I love. Wait, Gail must be watching behind. I think she's watching behind because she's seeing. She said, "You is not Clarence's mother. You is his wife. Come on, girl. Thank you."
In other words, why should I give you a Mother's Day gift when you're not my mother? That's what she's saying.
I'm not your mother, but I am a mother. There's
Yeah,
a
and
That's,
those
difference.
people that you are a mother of need to get you a gift.
Well,
that's right.
wait a minute. The mother of the children, which is supposed to be our children. So if
Oh,
you can
wait, wait,
go,
wait. Oh,
wait a
now they
minute.
his
If you
children.
can go to church and they're handing out
Wait,
flowers
now
to
they his
mothers,
children.
you can hand out a gift to
Now they
me.
his children.
I'm
No.
a mother.
No.
Come on now.
See, she
I
Go
am
won't
ahead,
take
a
it.
mother.
Gail. Thank you, Gail.
I am a
Let's
mother.
put that back
Oh,
on
you
the
wait. You just
screen.
wait till you get married, Gail. You wait. You don't want to get it. You don't want to get.
Come on, girl.
You don't want to get a Mother's Day gift too.
Come on, girl.
She said, I am a mother. Well, you get them kids that you're, because I'll be like, here you go, mother. When I say Happy Mother's Day to my wife, it's going to sound different. You know what you need to do, Clarence? Take her to a
Yes.
restaurant for Mother's Day. The ones that she don't like. Then she'll stop asking you.
There you go. There
Wow.
you go.
Don't worry about her Father's Day gonna come around too. Let's see about that.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yes.
See?
We get one holiday a month, Lisette. Valentine's Day is for y'all. Anniversaries are for y'all.
Right.
Christmas is for y'all. Thanksgiving, we got to hang out with your side of the family that we don't like.
Right.
And we get one little measly holiday, Father's Day, and
Father's
y'all
Day.
try to ruin it.
Try to ruin
No,
it.
I
That's
tried
it.
to honor my husband on Father's Day. He's a great father.
Oh,
He's not
Lorraine
my
agrees with
father, but he's
Gail.
a great father.
That's right.
Lorraine agrees with Gail.
Thank you, Lorraine.
Lisette gonna be on the phone as soon as this is over.
You leave them alone.
Because he's not. I was just
Leave
making.
them alone.
I'm just joking.
Leave them alone. They're right.
Well, Clarence, I do want to say it's not because I know you, Ken, and Lord Jesus, I don't forgot her other son's name.
Zaki.
Zaki and
Yes,
Lachey.
there you go. They, huh?
Lachey, we have a daughter, Lachey.
Yes, they always. Well, I haven't seen her on here. I've only seen the two sons.
She probably ain't gonna
Um,
come up here either because she's a very, she's not about it.
no, 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 not about being on. I'm saying commenting. I always see Ken and
Right.
Zachary pop up, and they have nothing but. Well, of course, Zachary is obligated to say great things about you, Clarence,
Zaki.
but Zachy, but Ken always says great things about you. So, you know,
And I
I know
appreciate
these
it.
things to be true.
I appreciate
Wrapping it up, I think I've talked. I think this is a show I've talked mostly enough because again, I have the personal experience of having a father until 12 and then not again until 25.
it. Right.
And so I do know the struggles of the dads out there who are trying to be fathers but not allowed to be fathers.
That's right.
And I said it 1,000 times, we know there's deadbeats out there, but we do. I would tell people don't always believe what you hear
Mm-hmm.
at first when you see a single mom saying the daddy ain't this, the daddy ain't that, the daddy ain't this. Get both sides of the story because there's usually two sides to the story, and then the truth is somewhere in the middle
More in the
of
middle.
both stories.
That's right.
And I know a lot of guys out there who try to be good fathers and just get met with resistance. So let's just get off the thing of trashing dads
Right.
as a whole.
Come on.
Speak from your own experience. If your daddy went bleep, your daddy went bleep, and that's not everybody's daddy. Also, when you get older, figure it out. Know how to tell it. Don't just go with what you were told. Learn for yourself,
That's
because
right.
that's what helped me. I learned that everything I was told was a lie.
Come on now.
Wow.
You know.
Come
So
on.
growing up, my relationship with my mother was closer than my father. Now being older, my relationship with my father is amazing, and my relationship with my mom is now almost non-existent. I don't just not love her, but it's just it's a change and shift once I grew up and learned what was what.
How about that?
What's
Okay.
that? Then we'll end with our guest, Clarence.
Well, I was.
Uh,
My dad died when I was. Go ahead. You go ahead.
let me go. We're gonna end with you, okay? But baby, I I thank God for my father. My father was very instrumental in me getting into the arts. He was a musician and he was a singer songwriter, recording artist, and so he was an artist. So he taught me and made me what I am today. He was a good father. But I thank God that even though he took care of my biological brothers and sisters, I was not jealous because he didn't make me feel jealous because he was uh, reaching out to them to be their father, and because he knew that they needed that in the family, and that made the difference in their life. They can contest to that, and he made the difference in my life. So I thank God for my father, and I know that there are good fathers out there. Of course, there's always going to be some bad apples in anything. However, I just want you to know, all you good fathers out there, out of how many, let's see, how many fathers? I saw this somewhere. Out of, I think it was like 7 million married dads that
Mm-hmm.
take care of their children. You are one of the 7 million that takes care of your children if that's what you're doing. So that's awesome. And we appreciate you. We want you to have a wonderful Father's Day upcoming. And so we know that you're needed in the family, and continue to stand and be the father that you are. Continue to be strong, and show how good it is to be a father. Just to say this, it reminds me of Kobe, how he had like this girl dad thing. When he came out with that, seemed like men wanted to, hey, I'm a girl, I'm a dad girl, or whatever, however they were saying it. And it made men proud, to say, hey, I'm gonna take care of my daughter. We have a great relationship. I think it's more famous people, or people out there in society that are looked up to would say that I'm proud to be a father. That would make sometimes the younger generation coming up, or the new dads, make them proud to say, I'm gonna be the father that stays there with my child, and to be a good father to my son or my daughter. Okay. So I really thank you, and I thank God for my husband Clarence for being a great father. I love you, sweetheart.
Thank you, Shed. I love you too. Um, for me, it's awesome. As I said earlier, when my son said, "When I grow up, I want to be like you," we have to stop bashing fathers. Fathers matter. I work at a detention center. Most young people that come to the detention centers come from parents that don't have a active father. They have emotional problems, psychological problems. But we need to look at all the good people in the world, all the good kids that grow up and become successful, not just failures. We talk about failures a lot. The news is based on failure most of the time. As a father, when my children succeed, then I am a success. So let's give a shout out to all the fathers out there, all the good fathers, all the great fathers, all the loving and caring fathers. And thank you for having me on the show.
And thanks,
Oh,
Lorraine. I see you tuned in.
always remember those of you who point out, like when you see a person make it to the NFL, you see a person make it, rich or successful, and they talk about, see, I did it without having a father, or I did it without having a mom. Those are the outliers. And when you point out the outliers, you always make a case for the majority.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Well said.
For sure. I love you, fathers out there. We thank you and appreciate you. Thank you for all those that live in the live chat. Thank you for coming today. And please do us a great favor and share it. Share the link with someone and tune in again.
Gail is Gail is on one today.
I'm not gonna be like you.
Gail is on
Hold
one
up now. Look, wait a minute, wait a minute.
today.
Let me take my stuff off. 'Cause this is one sister. We just gonna get it on. Bring
No
it on,
violence, no
Gail.
violence. We gotta go. No violence.
Thank you, Kim.